Hey, welcome to episode 4 of CHAPcast. I am Ashley Park, and as always, I'll be speaking to bands, artists, gig promoters, venue owners, and independent labels to help you guys keep up to date with what's going on. I'll also be playing some music that, so far people seem to be liking, and hopefully it'll continue to do so with the other stuff that I play. Later on today, I'll have Charley Buchan from Fitlike Records and Best Girl Athlete, as well as several other projects that I'm sure he'll want to speak about. But first, to get things going, I'm going to play a song called You Look Like a Purse from McManus. Okay, so I got Charley Buchan here from Fitlike Records and Best Girl Athlete.
Anything else?
CS Buchan?
Yeah, possibly.
Liz? Anything else? Maternal Bum connection?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're having a short 10-year break just now. Stephen Milne's solo band.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were involved in that. Check you out.
I was when he had his solo album out, and there are rumours of an impending forthcoming solo album.
Oh, exciting times.
I don't know if I'll be playing on it, but it's quite like that.
All right, well, so we'll start speaking about Fitlike Records then. How long have you been doing that now?
God, a year, maybe, I suppose. Yeah, around a year.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
It probably is. It might be even be 2, I don't know.
Okay. So what got you started? What made you what made you start a label, basically?
I got a message on the bottom of a fried egg. It said Fitlike. Ooh, start a label. No. I could honestly say I've never ever thought I would start a label, and it was never a plan for it. You know what? I've got so many friends that I've played in bands with, and we all record on each other's stuff, and it was never a conscious collective, but we are a collective, and we played a gig. I can't remember if you were there at the library, the Advocates Library. It was a C.S. Buchan album launch, and I had invited various people along to play. In all, we had about 13, I think it was 13 people contributing at various points. And it became less of an album launch and more of a kind of showcase for everybody who was playing. Like, oh, well, you've got a couple of songs you can do, but we'll all play on it. And, oh, you've got a song. And at one point, there were 13 folk on stage. And it was quite... I think because it wasn't contrived, it just sort of happened, and it was bloody brilliant. And I think after that I started thinking, wow, I wish we had a sort of, maybe a bit of a platform to actually record and play and contribute to each other's stuff.
Okay, so what does having Fitlike Records, what does running the label actually involve? What does it entail?
Heartache, sorrow, misery, sometimes glimpses of sunshine. Hard work, you know what? It's hard work, and it's not hard work. I mean, I look at guys like you and Cameron, Blacklight Records, and think, how the bloody hell does he do that? Because his output for that label is unbelievable. And if you look at my output, it's nothing in comparison. But I suppose I put on events as well, in addition to putting out music. And I suppose events are as important for me, and projects as well, as actually releasing things. I'm not sourcing, I don't scour the Northeast looking for hot, fresh talent. That was never... Although I keep getting these emails from random people, which I appreciate, but people I don't know saying, hey, you've got a label, sign me or work with me and pass on your knowledge. And I get embarrassed because I'm not... I think some folk have got an image or an idea what somebody that runs a label is and does, and usually it's a massive wanker.
Okay, and that was Otters by the Ex-Wives, taken from the album Fucking Dutch. And as much as I love that song, I also wanted to just say fucking Dutch. I'm speaking to Charley Buchan here just now about Fitlike Records. Okay, so you're saying that you're the facilitator for Fitlike, this collective.
I guess so,
kind of thing. So what's the process for a release? Like if you find a band that you like or friends, and you want to put something out, what's the process? How do you...
You know what? I think partly it works because there's no process. I think that's the whole thing. It is actually quite organic, and I know I've already said it's not contrived, and it's not like there's a manual as to how you should do this. And I mean, I record, and I do it completely backwards to how it should be done. Drums always go down last, which irritates the drummer, but that's just the way it works.
Okay, so you record it all?
I record it all.
Okay.
And produce it, which is why it takes so bloody long. Okay,
so if a recording is finished, and you're putting out the CD or a record or whatever, then what's the process from... Is there a process from, like, recording is finished? Do you send it away to get mastered? Do you master it yourself?
No, that's one thing I can't do. I can't master. There's a guy who works for us. He's got a great name, Alex McNutt, in Glasgow. He's a really good guy, and he's done work with Indian Red Lopez. And you know what? He's one of the sound engineers with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
Check that out.
Do you hear the influence sometimes coming through?
I certainly. I hear the influence in your voice.
It's man. He does mastering for us. He's a really good guy.
Okay, so then you get it back, and then do you do artwork? Do the band do artwork?
No, again, it's just... There's a couple of guys, Michael Chang from Indian Red Lopez, who works... I think he does stuff for Podcast in Glasgow. He does stuff, I think, for Captain Tom's.
You mean Podcart,
sorry. And Barry Snow, he's done stuff for C.S. Buchan albums and bits and bobs for posters as well. So, I mean, I'm very fortunate just to have pals that are actual graphic designers. Otherwise, everything would look rubbish. So I'm able to... I mean, I'm also extremely lucky to have a lot of friends that are artists. Steve Murison, Stuart Allen, they're guys that have contributed recently to some of their art to releases. So, yeah, I mean, it is looking around to see who would be the right person to sort of contribute in a meaningful way that complements the music. You boys don't even hear
Tall, heavy-footed, a man on a wire, telling us stories, a truthful liar, a traveling through it all, who never leaves home. Dancing out of time to a two-time beat, shuffle around with those heavy feet, another whiskey gone, with no intentions to leave. Not a dime in his pockets, but plenty tricks up his sleeve. Where he comes from, who he knows, where he goes, it's a mystery. He stumbled through the dark light, a beautiful catastrophe. He runs a broken comb through his thick black hair.
beautiful Catastrophe by The Great Bear that you can actually hear on the first Volume 1 sampler of Fitlike Records. Yeah, anyway, so the Best Girl Athlete album has just come out, and you had your release show on Friday the 7th? 6th? 6th.
No, actually. It wasn't a release. It was the first gig we played since we released it, but it was actually a showcase, a label showcase, and we weren't topping the bill as such. So,
who was?
Well, I just thought it wouldn't be quite right, self-serving if I put us up at the top of the bill, and it was quite a laid-back evening, piano, acoustic guitars, apart from Tryptamines were the only full band really, so I thought it would make sense to have them at the top. So, you know what, it was a really good night, it was a good mix. I think folk were expecting, there'll be some nice acoustic stuff, but Tryptamines did something completely different.
Oh yeah, no, you were saying you have like a launch thing at St. Macher. Not St. Macher.
Yes, yeah. I was at St. Macher Cathedral at Christmas, watching Katie in her school Christmas concert. But the standard of music was just honestly incredible. And I remember sitting thinking, this would be amazing to put a gig on here. I think that's the thing. There's a lot of these venues. Well, it's a church, but it's also a venue. They put on music, but they put on classical music. Nobody would think, well, I could put something on here. And I will say, I suppose the cathedral were a bit mindful of, well, what kind of music is this?
So what did you tell them?
Well, I was quite upfront and said, look, here's the album, here's some tracks. However, for this, we would just have an acoustic piano, acoustic guitar, and a cello. So, I mean, it's not going to be anything radically different from what they've had, but I gather they're not used to having pop/indie stuff played. But it will be different.
Letting the riff-raff in.
Oh, yes. At the end of the day, it's a building, and it's a beautiful building with amazing acoustics, so why not use it? Yeah. It's up for hire like most other buildings are.
Yeah. So how's the album doing so far?
Really well. Great reviews. Selling a lot of vinyl. I was just speaking about with you off mic. People going nuts for vinyl, which I kind of knew was the case. It's it's been a few years. People are starting to snap up vinyl again, and digital and vinyl's the way. Even though I have produced CDs. Grannies and aunties like CDs. They were good Christmas gifts.
Yeah, stocking fillers.
I have had enough time to rest. After hours of the morning become the first sight of sunrise to me. And I will walk the ground I used to know. And I will breathe the air again. Will breathe the air again. Breathe the air again. I'll cast aside my ghosts. Comfort has deserted me again. Running rings around my days, checking every little moment of sunlight from me. I will walk the ground I used to know. And I will breathe the air again. Will breathe the air again. Will breathe the air again. I'll cast aside my ghosts. I won't be alone. I want to feel home. Wherever I go, I'll never single through. feeling I've lost my way. I won't be alone. I want to feel home wherever I go, and I won't live a single day feeling I've lost my way. Oh, I think it's coming on. Oh, I think it's coming on. I won't be alone. I want to feel home wherever I go. I won't live a single day feeling I've lost my way. I won't be alone. I want to feel home wherever I go, and I won't live a single day feeling I've lost my way. Oh, I think it's coming on. Oh, I think it's coming on. I think it's coming on. Oh, I think I'm growing up.
And that was Castaway by Daniel Mutch, taken from the Remedy and Therapy EP. And I'm still speaking to Charley Buchan here. So I know that some of the songs on the Best Girl Athlete album were actually CS Buchan songs originally. So how did that transfer over? Like, did Katie pick songs that she liked, or did you say, "Sing this now, I am your father"?
Gosh. There's some that we tried and it just simply didn't work. A lot of it as well was the label in the States, Minty Fresh Records. I think they had a definite idea of what they wanted. When they first heard Leave It All Behind, that was the first song that she sung on. And they were like, "Oh, she's great, yeah. She got any more stuff with her singing on it?" I was like, "Well, what about me? But it's her." And I lied and said, "Yeah, of course I have." So I had a trawl through the back catalogue and found some songs that the two of us agreed, like, yeah, this would sound good. It's a good key for you and you'd improve it. So we tried a few and realised she does actually improve the songs. But I think it was a good experience for me as well to actually re-record some of these songs and sort of reinterpret them, because I'd done them probably at a stage where I wasn't quite as confident recording and producing. Because she does contribute ideas about structures and she does her own harmonies, and she has put a definite stamp on them.
I was going to say, she still did write like quite a lot of the songs on this album.
Talk is probably, in my opinion, one of the best songs on the album. And for her just, hey, what do you think of this? Snap, just look at. I was convinced that she just copied another song.
Yeah.
No, but who really wrote it? Where have you heard it? No. She's done it a couple of times. There's a couple of other songs, new songs, that are just like, what? Eh? When I was 15, yeah, I wasn't doing these things.
No.
I was reading Shoot magazine and playing with He-Man. I'm not that old, actually.
So what does the future hold for CS Buchan, or Best Girl Athlete, or Fitlike Records?
Jeez. CS Buchan probably always be there, because I'm never going to stop writing music, and it'll probably always just come under CS Buchan. Best Girl Athlete, you know what, I don't know. Katie's coming up for 16. I've always said, as long as she wants to do this, it's fine. I'm not pushing her into it. If she wants to stop, it'll stop. She is starting to write more and get more confident in her own abilities and performing and singing. I kind of see that she'll stop, at least for the next couple of years. It will continue, and I would like a second album. It looks like it's imminent.
All right, well, thanks for coming in and chatting to us.
Thank you very much for your warmth, kindness and humour.
Well, I try my best. And that was CS Buchan. And that is the end of episode 4 of CHAPcast. Before I finish off, obviously I'm going to remind you guys that you can get in touch at CHAPcastshow@gmail.com, or feel free to check out our Facebook at facebook.com/CHAPcastshow. And to finish things off, I'm going to play a song called Vultures Crown by Sunwolf. And this is taken from an album called Beholden to Nothing and No One. And I think this is a pretty good way of saying goodbye. So enjoy Sunwolf, and I'll speak to you in episode 5.